Ever since we began to sail the seas and discover the world, ships have always looked for the best haven to moor in. A meeting point to exchange goods and welcome travelers. In an island community like the Balearic Islands, ports are vital for communication and supply. We have 5 ports open to the world for the 1 million residents and more than 16 million tourists who visit us every year. Let's set sail towards the island of Ibiza to discover the oldest of these ports. The town of Ibiza was founded during the Punic period in the 7th century BC. The protection provided by the islands of Plana, Grossa and El Botafoc made it an excellent shelter. It was so good that this small quay, probably made of wood, was enough for the town's port activities. In the 19th century, more quays, terminals and docks were built around it to accommodate the increasing number of vessels and seafarers who visited the island. Like the fishermen, who are now coming into the port. Let's hope they've had a good day. An oil tanker is drawing near. Meanwhile, at another quay, general cargo is being unloaded. Products such as cereals and cement, textiles, food and furniture. Although it may sound strange, all these products reach us on wheels. They do so in vehicles which deposit their goods here. The port also receives passengers on scheduled services from the Spanish mainland and the other Balearic Islands, and cruise ships packed with tourists ready to have a great holiday. The projects planned by the Port Authority of the Balearic Islands will help them and all passengers who come to Ibiza to disembark more conveniently and safely. Such as the El Botafoc quays, with a passenger terminal and 2 jetties built in line with the most environmentally sustainable system possible. Piles that allow the water to circulate and minimize the impact on the marine area and its flora and fauna. Concentrating commercial activity in a single area has freed up the historic centre from the inconvenience of heavy traffic. Moreover, the construction of a new promenade has given the city a new urban attraction. In short, a project that benefits the entire city, its visitors, and above all, its residents. Let's continue on our journey and head to Formentera. A calm sea accompanies us to its port La Savina. For centuries, this has been the area most used by the islanders for fishing, travel and trade, with salt being the main commodity for hundreds of years. By the end of the 19th century, the old facilities for loading and unloading had become too small, and consequently the port was enlarged. This was how the small island of La Savina became joined to the mainland. Due to its strategic importance for the Spanish state and its domestic and international shipping, the port of La Savina, like those of Palma, Ibiza, Mahon and Alcudia, is a port of general interest. This has been crucial to its modernization and expansion, which were essential for Formentera to continue to be a leader in the tourist industry. Its passenger terminal receives over 1 million passengers every year. Others choose yachts or sailing boats to visit us. Above all, the port is essential for the islanders. The vast majority of what surrounds us, what we eat and wear, our cars and the materials from which we build our houses, all reach us from across the sea and via the port facilities. Our journey takes us to the Bay of Palma. Its port stretches from Portopí to Torrent Gros at the other end of the city. Nearby are the Portichol and Es Molinar yacht clubs. The origins of the port can be found in this 15th century altarpiece by Père Nicard. It depicts St. George, the dragon he slew, and as the setting for his feat, the two quays that then flanked Palma's former exchange building. One was made of wood and was for smaller vessels, and the other of stone, where larger ships unloaded their goods. This is the image of the same quay today, full of lorries ready to distribute their goods to the interior of Majorca and the rest of the islands. On the west dock, the oil tanker has already unloaded its fuel. As usual, the port pilot will accompany it on its way out. See you again soon. Many other boats sail these waters. No fewer than 7,500 recreational vessels shelter permanently in the ports of general interest of the Balearic Islands, entering and leaving them and giving them life. Big or small, sail or engine-powered, in Palma, all vessels will find hundreds of companies to repair and refit them, with excellent facilities for large yachts, one of the Balearic Islands' main industrial sectors. At a nearby quay, we come across fishing boats that will stock the island's fishmongers in a few hours' time. At the other end of the port, ferries operate linking Majorca to the mainland and the rest of the islands. They are not the only vessels to dock at these quays. The port of Palma leads cruise tourism in the Western Mediterranean. The Port Authority of the Balearic Islands has responded to the confidence shown by cruise shipping companies and the needs of the destination by investing in services and infrastructure. But Palma is not the only way to access Majorca by sea. The port of Alcudia is one of the main tourist centres on Majorca, with a great variety of accommodation and leisure activities on offer. Moving away from the beach, the landscape changes. The liquefied gas plant and the adjoining quay indicate that this is the port which supplies the island with its energy. Unloading liquefied gas is gradually replacing the busy operations handling coal, which have traditionally taken place in this port. The quay where we now find ourselves was used during the Middle Ages to trade livestock from Minorca, and later on it was where travellers who'd arrived from distant countries were put into quarantine. Above all, however, it has been the fishermen who have been working here over the years. Their nets continue to arrive full of fresh fish. A new passenger terminal has been built on the extension to the western quayside. It provides a convenient and efficient service to passengers who embark here for France, Barcelona and Menorca, our next destination. Here at Punta del Espero, the most easterly point in our journey, the sun first appears over Spain. It welcomes us to the port of Mahon, considered by many to be the best natural port in the Mediterranean. All the powers that have attempted to dominate this sea over the centuries have done so from the haven which we now enter. This area at the foot of the city is the origin of a port that remained outside the city walls. The reason for this was because the sea often served as an entry point for pillagers and invaders. That changed in the 19th century, when cities opened up their coastal districts and the port became the important centre of financial and social activity that we know today. Some sail in their own vessels. Others come and go to Alcudia, Barcelona, Palma and Valencia on scheduled services, and many more arrive on board tourist cruises. The port's commercial traffic is found at Cost Nou, This is the area where there is the most activity, because in addition to goods transport, the ship repair and refit industry is also concentrated here. Both of these activities are at some distance from the city, so as not to disrupt daily life. Ports are vital for islands such as the Balearics. Their development is justified by changes in the needs of the islanders that they cater for. The Port Authority of the Balearic Islands, as the organisation responsible for the administration, management and operation of the community's ports of general interest, is in charge of ensuring that the ports continue to guarantee the security and well-being of the residents of the Balearic Islands. Constant and sustainable growth in order to continue offering the best possible service.